The New York Jets, 1-4, travel to Arizona to face the Cardinals, a Cardinals team that did not have their quarterback Carson Palmer last week in a win. Now they get Carson Palmer back, who is he is out of the concussion protocol. Correct?
That's correct.
That's right.
Right. So he will be back in action. We want to see how he looks. Now, great matchup for the entire Cardinals passing attack because the Jets have one of the worst secondaries in football, as it's turned out. And we still don't know if Darrelle Revis is playing this week
Hasn't practiced.
as of this taping. And there's a very good chance they will be without him again. And one thing I want to say about this, the one thing the Jets have to hold on to defensively is they still stop the run very well. But what Pittsburgh did last week is a blueprint that I'm sure – Bruce Arians and the Cardinals will follow. Is like, okay, if we can't get a running game going, what we'll do is just check it down and throw a bunch of screen passes and find different ways to get the ball in the hands of David Johnson. So don't be surprised, fantasy heads out there, if your running back, if you have David Johnson, has between 80 and 100 yards receiving in this game, because they're gonna, once the ball gets to these running backs, the Jets just don't have the personnel to stop these guys before they pick up 5 to 20 yards.
Don't be surprised also if this is the week that John Brown and Michael Floyd join Larry Fitzgerald and make this the top wide receiver trio again. Because, like you said, the Jets they hemorrhage big plays in the secondary. That's John Brown's forte, getting deep. And Michael Floyd is a big play receiver when he's right. He hasn't been right this year, whether it's mentally or physically or whatever. He hasn't been right.
48 dropbacks for Roethlisberger, 1 QB hit by the Jets last week. So that's a problem. The Cardinals have not been able to deal with pressure. I think this is a game where you see Todd Bowles, who's been a little cautious this year because his secondary is bad. Maybe just throw a little caution to the wind and just come after this Cardinals. You've been saying this week you think this is a buzzsaw, type of matchup, having to go there on Monday night?
I said last week was. This one,
okay.
Not necessarily.
I mean, I got to see it. I got to see it out of the Cardinals before I think that they're
I'm more in
anything
that
but
boat.
an average team. They absolutely should be better than that, but they got to show it.
They haven't put it all together. They've put signs. Who's got a better bookend edge rushing tandem right now than Marcus Golden and Chandler Jones? Their secondary has the pieces. They haven't done it yet. And then on offense, I think the pieces are there too. You just got to get Carson Palmer healthy and everybody on the same page. And I do think this is a bit of a sleeping giant. The pieces are there for the Cardinals.
It might be. If they ever lost this game, I would wonder what happens to them. I think it might be over because you've got Seattle next week if you're the Cardinals. You got to go to Carolina, not a great team, but that's a tough matchup for the Cardinals the way in their current state. Then after the bye, 2 weeks later, you got the Vikings. You got a rough stretch. This is good. We're going to find out what the Cardinals are.
And on the Jets side, the loss of Eric Decker, he got sent to IR. He's having shoulder surgery, and he's probably done for the year. We all knew it would be a big loss if he was gone, but it really is magnified when you're actually in the middle of watching these games and the Jets get to the red zone. And Brandon Marshall is a stud down the red zone, but they have no one else to go to. And Decker, that was his specialty. He was a lock for them last year for, 75 and a touch almost every week. And they simply don't have the bodies. I know people got excited about Quincy Enunwa earlier in their season, as did I, but he has not been able to pick up the slack, and they don't have much behind him. So a huge loss of Eric Decker. I mean, this is just a bad situation for the Jets. I think it will be competitive, though. I just get a feeling this game goes into the fourth quarter, and it's a tight game, but I can't say that I see the Jets coming out of it.
There are people out there now picking on the way the Jets have been put together and built, that they're old, that they've got this defensive line, this stash of defensive linemen, but outside of it, they're an aging team with a lot of stopgap type players. And if you look at it, it's not a crazy thing to say. Does it concern you that maybe the whole GM group on down is going to have to take a step back and rebuild this team big time? You got old players in this
I
building.
think it comes down to this, for me, is the Revis situation with him. I think that affected the entire team. The mindset of the team, the swagger of the team, and most importantly, from a personnel standpoint, you thought you had a guy who was still, even if he wasn't number one, he was like top 10, and that guy you don't have to worry about. Once he became a liability and now he got hurt, everything hit the fan. And I don't think they've recovered from that as a team. I think that's been a big reason why their secondary has been so bad, because him all of a sudden becoming mortal, I don't think Todd Bowles was prepared for that.
Hard to adjust to
the fan base
that.
wasn't prepared for that. That was a stunning setback for the franchise.
Matt Forte.
Fun being a Jets fan.
We heard Gary Kubiak talk about getting Devontae Booker more involved because he has fresh legs. Matt Forte's got the opposite of fresh legs right now.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they have known
He's
that?
a lot like Gore, they're like my two favorite guys from the
Well,
They're-
Forte's playing through injuries.
They're good as role players, but they don't have the juice. They don't have the burst right now.
Powell
They
should be
need
more
to
involved in the offense.
Powell's looked better the whole way.
He's a good guy out of the backfield. He's become their receiving back, but they should have more of it. Not an even load, but maybe, 65-35.